It was so disrespectful. That fight that he did with Skull, it's like he didn't even try to win, bro. He went there for a paycheck. And it's disrespectful to boxing, bro. And he's cashing out of boxing, bro. What's Canelo doing not fighting Benavidez?
Got a point there.
He's fighting a 147 pounder.
He fought at 54 his last fight.
He's fighting a 147 pounder. Why is he not fighting Benavidez?
Rolly Romero just unloaded on Canelo Alvarez in a jaw-dropping interview, ripping into the superstar with savage insults that have left fans stunned. In addition, Rolly Romero jumped in with his trademark bluntness, pointing out that an undefeated record alone doesn't automatically make a fighter great. He reminded fans that plenty of boxers have stayed unbeaten on paper without proving true greatness in the ring. Rolly added that just because Terrence Bud Crawford has not yet tasted defeat does not guarantee a win against Canelo Alvarez. Romero added that despite his doubts, his support remains with Crawford when the bell rings.
Like, dude, like, bro, there's a lot of undefeated fighters that, like, you know, just because you're undefeated, I mean, I'm not saying Crawford's not a pound-for-pound great fighter. I mean, he's a two-time undisputed. Maybe, hopefully, he becomes a three-time undisputed, you know, and, you know, kicks it off. But, I mean, I truly don't see it happening. I hope he does it, though. I hope he does it. But, like, I mean, like I say, I mean, even is Crawford really a better pure boxer than Lara or Floyd? That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a hard, you know, it's a hard pick, you know. I hope Crawford wins.
Why?
Cause I'm tired of like, at least Crawford's taking the, like, look, let's flip the switch real quick, right? I talked all this mess about Crawford, man, but Crawford's taking a risk fighting a way bigger dude. No, I definitely didn't say Crawford could win. I said I hope so. You don't just move up 3 weight division. Well, I mean, it's been 2 weight divisions, but it's 3, you know, because they only fought 1. But you don't move up 2 weight divisions artificially and expect to, like, you know, win. Like, bro, like, there's that's not something that happens, you know.
However, Rolly didn't hold back when sounding off on Canelo either, calling it downright disrespectful that the Mexican star stepped up and brawled with William Skull. Rolly slammed Canelo's approach, stating that it looked like he was just there to collect a paycheck rather than give the fans a fight they deserved.
It was so disrespectful, that fight that he did with Skull. It's like he didn't even try to win, bro. He went there for a paycheck. And it's disrespectful to boxing, bro. And he's cashing out of boxing, bro. It's sad to see, man, a great fighter, a legend, to be over there and just trying to cash out of boxing any way he can. It's honestly, it's a disgrace to the sport.
Rolly doubled down on his bashing, implying that Canelo is cherry-picking easy fights to pad his record. He questioned why Canelo had not been taking the fights that he was supposed to. For Rolly, it's simple. He wants Canelo to take the fights against Benavidez.
What's Canelo doing not fighting Benavidez?
Got a point there.
He's fighting a 147 pounder.
He fought at 54 his last fight.
He's fighting a 147 pounder. Why is he not fighting Benavidez? They call him the Mexican monster because everybody's scared of him, so Benavidez would destroy Canelo, not even close.
I don't think that's a big fight. I don't think Canelo Crawford's a big fight.
No?
I think I think Canelo Benavidez is a big fight.
Additionally, Oscar De La Hoya threw some shade at the Canelo Crawford dynamic, pointing out that the two fighters shared a friendly dinner. De La Hoya did not mince words, saying fans want to see fighters go to war inside the ring, not pose for dinner dates. He further stated that back in the golden era of boxing, it would have been unthinkable for two rivals to break bread before settling it with their fists at the main stage.
So the ridiculous promotion of Canelo Crawford has given me lots of good ammunition.
Get some, baby!
Ooh, first, let's take it back to last week when this photo was taken of Canelo and Crawford having dinner together. Like they're best friends.
I love you, man.
They're buddies, like they were family friends. I mean, can you imagine Muhammad Ali or like Joe Frazier having dinner together?
What?
Can you imagine Mike Tyson and Mitch Green before a brawl?
Wow.
What the? No boxing fan wants to see two two fighters having dinner together.
We could have a dinner on Wednesday night.
We want bad blood.
Backing up Raleigh's points and taking the shots even further, De La Hoya brutally mocked Canelo's rumored WWE crossover, saying he'd rather see Canelo step up and fight David Benavidez first before he decides to take on The Undertaker.
So after their dinner date together, Canelo and Crawford said on the press tour that I think started in Riyadh, New York, and Vegas. So here's a clip of their talking.
I'm very excited for this fight. We'll see. We'll see.
That's lame, right? That is so lame. Oh, and Canelo elaborated on his career plans.
Maybe you will see me in the WWE.
Okay, great, Canelo, but please first, before you fight The Undertaker, can you please fight David Benavidez? No. And here's the moment where the script told them to shove each other. I mean, come on. Anybody else not buying this drama?
Not stopping there, De La Hoya threw jabs at both Canelo and Crawford for lacking the mic skills and fiery trash talk needed to properly build blockbuster fights. He did not hold back on Canelo taking another shot by reminding fans of the times Canelo failed drug tests, adding more fuel to his criticism.
If you want to actually make Canelo mad, just tell the truth about him and his tainted meats.
And Canelo failed 2 drug tests?
And when asked what time the fight will take place,
I don't know.
My good friend Turkey on the Sheik gave an answer that left everybody puzzled.
What are we looking at here?
I mean, I'm sorry, Turkey, but what did you say? So is the fight taking place in the afternoon?
Maybe not today.
Or is it taking place in the evening?
Maybe not tomorrow.
We just all want to know.
Bruh.
Because if it's in the evening, that means Dana White will have to choose whether to be present at the UFC match in Texas or the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
In the same way, Paulie Malignaggi weighed in, stating that the fight on paper is huge and has everyone talking, but stylistically it is actually a terrible matchup. He flat out said he does not expect the fight to be any good inside the ropes. It is simply 2 massive names being paired up because today's boxing world is hooked on star power.
On paper, it's the most talked about fight of the year. I mean, I don't know what. You're telling me it's on paper, it's a fight of the year. Why do you think the fight is a fight of the year? Is it because of the popularity, or do you think stylistically? I think stylistically the fight's horrible. I don't think the fight's going to be good at all. But you know, it's 2 big names. It's I think the public have become accustomed to just matching big names that just create star power. We used to match styles in boxing. We used to try to put together, you know, fighters that, you know, we thought would make good fights. Now we just, if one guy's popular, another guy's popular, say, okay, let's just make them fight. Sometimes it doesn't even matter the weight class. So,
adding to that, Rolly Romero doubled down, emphasizing that the real problem is how these fights are being made. According to Rolly, you either match up the most entertaining fight or you put the best of the same division against each other, not force a fight by having fighters jump weight classes just to manufacture hype.
I don't think that's a big fight. I don't think Canelo Crawford's a big fight.
No?
I think Canelo Benavidez is a big fight.
I think that's huge.
I don't think a dude moving up 3 weight divisions to go fight a dude that's twice his size, you know, I know he looked bigger than him the other day, but I mean, obviously, you know, regardless, I don't think that's not making a big fight.
Well, what is making a big fight? Like, how do you make a big fight?
You take the best person in one weight division, you put another person in the weight division, make a big fight, or you get 2 stars that are entertaining as hell and you make a big fight like that.
However, in a classic fashion, both raw and unfiltered, Romero stayed true to his reputation as boxing's resident menace, throwing a wild jab at Crawford by calling him ugly, but genuinely hopes Terrence beats Canelo.
I hope Crawford beats the shit out of him.
Really? Yeah?
Now, I'll tell you like this, I mean, the weight division things, you know, but I hope Crawford beats the shit.
Why do you want to see Crawford beat the ish out of Canelo?
I just hope Crawford beats the shit.
Why?
Terrence Crawford's ugly.
But would you fight him? Would you fight him really? Looks aside, okay, take away the looks, but would you fight him?
Terrence Crawford is ugly.
In addition, Manny Pacquiao shared his thoughts too, pointing out that both fighters have very different styles and are both elite in their own ways, which makes it tough to compare them directly. Pacquiao said the fight should be a good one, but like everyone else, he's waiting to see how it actually plays out once they step through the ropes.
There's a different style, you know, I mean, they're all they're both good fighters, so it's hard to compare yourself to others. Like, you know.
Do you think?
Thank you, guys. We gotta go. We gotta move on.
Mayweather did against Canelo. Do you think he can do any of that?
What, Canelo?
Can Crawford do any of what Mayweather did against Canelo?
That's a good fight, man. You know, we'll wait. We'll see.
Thank you.
On the other hand, Tim Tszyu gave his take on the Canelo-Crawford press conference drama, shrugging it off as nothing more than a bit of showmanship to hype the fight. He pointed out how strange it is to see fiery press conferences 1 minute, then photos of the two having dinner together the next. According to Tszyu, it is all just part of the act to sell the fight and nothing more.
I think it's a little bit of maybe a bit of showmanship. They're trying to sell the fight. Because at the same time, there was a photo of them all having dinner together, which I found a bit strange, you know, like they're going from dinner to a nice press conference to a more heated press conference. And then I think the last one was a little bit more heated. It's just like a little bit of an act.
Moreover, Tim stated that it's pretty entertaining watching both Canelo and Crawford trying so hard to play the alpha in this build-up. He said it's funny to see one trying to boss the other around, only for the other to push right back. And that's exactly what happens when two megastars collide and no one wants to look like the second best in front of the cameras.
Yeah, I think they're both trying to show the alpha and dominance in different ways, you know, and it's funny to see one trying to boss each other, the other one trying to boss each other, you know. So what happens when two megastars collide.
Who do you think's done a better job being that alpha male so far?
I think Canelo's doing good, but he's got the resume to back it up, while Crawford believes in his skills and abilities that much more. That's why he's backing himself so much.
Furthermore, Coach Joel Diaz weighed in with a dose of insider knowledge, saying he knows Canelo well, and as a Mexican himself, he understands the ins and outs of a Mexican fighter's mindset. Diaz said the key to beating Canelo is simple. You just have to frustrate him. According to Diaz, if you can get under his skin, you can break him down and walk away with the win.
You know what? When he came to me, I had already trained the Turkish guy. Abdi Yildirim for him. I know Canelo. I'm Mexican, you know. I was in my career, you know, growing up as a Mexican fighter. I know the goods and bads of a Mexican fighter, and I know Canelo, and I knew Canelo's weaknesses and how you can frustrate him. You frustrate Canelo, you beat him. You frustrate him first. When they came to me and said, okay, we're gonna train Canelo, train Bivol, and we want you to be part of the team. Let's go part of the plan.
In addition, Paulie Malignaggi pointed out that momentum seems to be swinging Crawford's way, with plenty of fans and pundits starting to favor him in this blockbuster clash. But Paulie was quick to add that, in his eyes, the only thing really keeping this fight competitive is the size difference. Without that gap, Malignaggi believes the matchup wouldn't even be close.
I'm not really crazy about the fight, to tell you the truth, but yeah, it's a lot of fanfare. Crawford is, I think, starting to gain a little bit of favoritism when at first it seemed like he would be too small. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I feel like it's the only thing that makes the fight competitive. I feel like if Canelo wasn't so much bigger than Crawford, this wouldn't even be a competitive fight, you know? I think that's the only thing Canelo has that, you know, may sway the competitiveness of the fight, maybe even win him the fight. Who knows? You know, I mean, if there's a danger for Crawford, it's the fact that he's smaller. But I don't think other than that, you have much to work with as far as Canelo being able to match up with Crawford in any way.
Coach Robert Garcia shared that he's genuinely excited for the fight because so many people have already counted Crawford out due to the obvious size and gap. However, Garcia pointed out that Bud got the tools to make it interesting, praising his skill set, quick hand, and sharp footwork that could pose problems for Canelo if he can put it all together on fight night.
I would probably say Crawford versus Canelo because it's a fight that most of the people don't give Crawford a chance because of the size, but he's got skills, man. He's got skills. He's got good speed, good footwork. That's why I do give him a chance.
You do give?
I do give Crawford a chance, of course. You know, Canelo's last few fights, you know, he does his work. He gets work done, but never does that little extra to please or to. He knows he doesn't need to anymore, so he's just comfortable enough with just securing the win.
Garcia also noted that in recent years, Canelo has shifted more into the role of a businessman than a pure fighter, and believes that mindset could actually work in favor of Crawford.
He became a businessman, and I think that could be something in favor of Crawford, that if he comes out in his best and good footwork, you know, Canelo is flat-footed. He his last fight, especially against the runner, he was throwing one punch at a time. Didn't even try to be aggressive and get him into the ropes, throw combinations of 4 to 5 punches. He never even tried that. So I think at this stage, I am giving Crawford a big chance of maybe pulling it up.
However, Tim also pointed out that how this fight plays out really depends on which version of Canelo shows up on the night. He said if fans get the Canelo who went to war with Gennady Golovkin, because that Canelo is entirely different from the Canelo that showed up against Skull. According to Chiju, which Canelo steps through the ropes will steer exactly where this fight goes.
It's hard to say because it depends on the Canelo that comes out, you know, like the Canelo that fought Triple G in the second one. I thought that was probably the best Canelo that I've seen to date, but the Canelo that I've seen in recent years hasn't been the Canelo from the Triple G days, so that's what it's all about. But then again, Crawford's like 38 years old, but he's still fresh and he hasn't been hit, so that's the real question. I think he's just become predictable, you know. He's got these certain shots and he's used his brute force and physical strength to just bully everyone, you know. But right now in front of him, it's not someone that you can use your strength against, because he's very, very smart, Crawford.
Building on that, Antonio Trevor weighed in with high praise for Crawford, saying he knows Bud personally and believes he's simply built differently. Trevor pushed back on the idea that the size will decide this fight, arguing that once the real battle comes down to whose skill set shows up sharper on fight night, because both men are bringing plenty of it to the ring.
No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2", like Bivol or one of those guys. So on fight night, the size is not going to be the main thing, the most important thing. It's going to be skill set. And both of them coming with their skill set. But what I haven't seen lately is the opponents that Canelo is facing. Those guys aren't going to get him ready for a guy like Crawford. So Canelo is going to have to go back to that grind and turn back the hands of times too.
Furthermore, Trevor added that in his eyes, the last time he saw a version of Canelo capable of beating Crawford was when he faced Caleb Plant. For Trevor, if that same sharp, relentless Canelo shows up, it could spell trouble for Bud.
And the other guy, what's the other guy name?
Munguia.
Munguia, bro, those guys, he didn't have enough activity. The last time I saw Canelo that would beat, I think, this Crawford was Plant. Now, if that Canelo come cutting the ring off, throwing combination to the head and to the body, active, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? And I still think I give Crawford a chance even then. So that's what type of talent I think Crawford is. He's definitely going to have to get used to that power. If he can take Canelo power, he's going to win the fight.
In the end, whether you're backing Canelo to remind the world why he's still boxing's king or rooting for Crawford to shock the system and cement his legacy, one thing is clear: the fight is way more than punches thrown in the ring. So whose side are you on? Let us know in the comment section below, Team Canelo or Team Crawford. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share with your friend, and ring the bell icon so you never miss a beat.